as far as I'm concerned, there are ultimately two really user-friendly options for teaching your dog a behavior that they have no context for. The first one is capturing. So when you capture, it's just what it sounds like. When we used to use real cameras and when we use our camera phones now, you can capture a moment in time. You can capture a behavior in action. So you can sit there and just like study your dog as a subject and see what they do. And behaviors that they do organically, accidentally, whatever, you can, all it takes is pointing that out to them and ideally labeling it, like giving it a name, and then providing them with a food reinforcer. So like, it's as if you're capturing a photo and presenting them with the still to say, hey, this is what you're doing, this is what it's called, and this is what it yields. And the second one is luring. And Ian Dunbar's a big fan of this. Chirag Patel, I've seen some videos on like Drop It, where he's doing this. But basically, at least in the short term, you are using a treat. You're using a treat lure to engineer or facilitate the behavior you're looking for. So like if it's a sit, you take the treat and you like lure it above their head, and like as they try to follow it, they will often, not all the time, they will often sit their butt down on the ground as they try to follow it, track it over the top of their head. And so as soon as they do that, they can provide them with that food reinforcer, and I would still label it. Most of the time when they're doing this, they ask for the behavior first, and then they lure, and then they give the food reinforcer. But like if the behavior is drop it, you practice with an item that your dog is ultimately allowed to have. So like a toy, and just watch them. Like the first version, you just watch them, and whenever they like are clumsy or they disengage from it or whatever, you just wait for that opportunity that the item falls from their mouth or they take their mouth off of it, and then boom, you capitalize upon that immediately. Like if I'm using a clicker, I click as soon as that happens and I say drop it, and then I give them a food reinforcer. If I wanted to use a lure, then I would basically just put that piece of food in front of their mouth, and they understand that if I want that piece of food, then like if I want that piece of food to go in my mouth, then this thing has to come out of my mouth. And so as soon as they do, like you can, again, they will usually say drop it as they are holding it there, and then when they drop it, they give it. Or I've seen Chirag Patel say drop, and then as he says it, he just puts a piece of food on the ground, and then the dog will generally let that object fall from their mouth, and then they'll come collect that piece of food. So if you are short on time and you don't have a lot of opportunities for like sessions, then just work smarter and not harder.